Hey gang, this is Eugene of Sneakerphiles, and today we will be taking a look at these Nike Air Jordan 1 OG Retro NRG, the homage to home. Let's go! Hey guys, thanks for watching. This is Eugene of Sneakerphiles in the Stay Fresh studios. Today we are taking a look at these Nike Air Jordan 1s, the homage to home. If you haven't already done so, please click that subscribe button for more review videos in the future. So today we have a very special Nike Air Jordan 1 release. This particular pair came out on Saturday, May 19th, retailed at $160 US or $215 Canadian. Before we get into the shoes, take a quick look at the box. So we have the standard Nike Air Jordan 1 OG Retro 2-piece box with a black outer and red Nike Air and swoosh print on all sides. The size tag is in its usual position, and the specific product code and color code for this particular pair is Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG NRG 861428061. Black, university red, white. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at the shoes. So here are the Nike Air Jordan 1 homage to home. So immediately looking at these shoes, you will see that they are split right down the middle with the two iconic colorways. On the medial side, you will see the traditional Chicago colorway, and on the lateral side of this pair, you will see the bread or the black or red or the band colorway of this particular Jordan 1. And of course, the significance of the two colorways they chose for this pair is to celebrate Michael Jordan's lustrous career in Chicago. So we have the home and away colorway for the Nike Air Jordan 1s. So let's take a closer look at each side and each component of the shoe. So on the lateral side, you will have the iconic bread, black, red, band colorway of the Nike Air Jordan 1. It's got the black center panel, the red swoosh, the red heel, and of course the red toe box. Also some quick details of this shoe. It's got that black Deep Boss Wings logo right there on the upper of the shoe, and on the medial side of this shoe you have the traditional Chicago colorway of the Nike Air Jordan 1. Very familiar to any Nike Air Jordan collector. The white center panel, the black swoosh, the red heel, and of course the white toe box. Looking at the more interesting aspect of the construction of the shoe, we have the split down the middle. Instead of having a single piece of material being painted or dyed right down the middle, it's actually two separate pieces of material sewn together down the center. So I can understand that the construction of this thing probably is a little bit more complicated than a traditional Air Jordan 1. Looking closer at the toe box of the shoe, you will see how it is made of two pieces of material sewn together all the way up the tongue and down the back of the shoe. So you have the offset bread and Chicago colorway on the leather. You have the black and the white on the tongue. And interestingly enough, on the back, we have that single color of the red heel counter, but it is still made of two pieces sewn together, even though they're the same color, just to keep the theme of the shoe more consistent. So on the tongue, you do have that Nike Air branding on the tongue tag, and of course it matches with the rest of the tongue with the split down the middle, the black and the white. So that's a very nice touch that they kept with the theme of the shoe. So looking at the bottom of the shoe, you do have the traditional white painted midsole that goes all the way around, no split material there. Looking at the bottom of the shoe, we do have a bright red outsole, not exactly the same crimson red that we saw on the bread or the Chicago colorways, but it is a very similar red, and at a quick glance you probably couldn't tell the difference unless you had it side by side with one of the previous retros of those two particular shoes. Looking closer at the finer details of the material of the shoe, the leather does seem to be in a very nice quality. Unlike the previous couple retros of the black and red and the Chicago colorway, this Nike Air Jordan 1 is closer in material wise as the previous few Nike Air Jordan 1 OG retros. So looking closer at the particular materials they've used for this Nike Air Jordan 1, it does seem to be a much softer or maybe higher quality leather than previous retros of the bread and the Chicago. You do see more tumbled leather throughout this entire makeup of the shoe, and the overall feel of the material just seems to be softer. It seems like it's got less rigidity and perhaps even better memory for reducing the chances of the toe box creasing for everyday wear. So of course a sneaker like this isn't exactly for everyone, but I think the overall quality, the material, the theme throughout this entire shoe is very well executed. Like I said earlier, I think the leather they used for this is absolutely top-notch as compared to previous retro releases of the Nike Air Jordan 1s. And the craftsmanship on this thing, knowing that it's technically two shoes sewn into one, I don't feel like there's any threat of this thing falling apart on you anytime soon unless you put some major mileage on these things and really abused the wear of the shoe. You also get those little perks of the Nike Air Jordan 1, such as this extra set of red laces. Of course, with all that being said, this is an extreme example of how Nike and the Jordan brand has decided to celebrate Michael Jordan's career and legacy once again. I know that we have seen a lot of Nike Air Jordan 1s as of the last couple of years, and this is something kind of new, and they kind of took the Nike Air Jordan 1, the top threes, the two iterations of them, and kind of expanded on it and made a more extreme version of what they can really do with multiple colorways fused into a single shoe. With these two very iconic colorways of Nike Air Jordan 1, the Bread and the Chicago, I think this is a very clever way for Jordan brand to kind of give the collector something that they would want for themselves in their collection. Perhaps this isn't a pair that you would wear on the regular or as a daily, just because it might be a little bit difficult to pull off some fits with these sneakers. Of course, being an Air Jordan fan myself, I absolutely love what they've done with these shoes. I know looking at these straight on, they are a little bit awkward or a little bit odd to look at, but looking at both the medial and the lateral side, these are absolutely iconic, and everything about these two colorways are what makes Nike Air Jordan such a legacy. Significantly celebrating the Chicago Bulls, their legacy, their history, is something very exciting for the sneaker community to thematically fuse all this together into one product. So a couple more details before the end of the video is that I know there are two versions of this particular shoe. This one right here is the much more general release with a lot larger production number, and I know there's a second version of this shoe that is limited and numbered all individually, so that pair is a lot harder to get. So if you're interested in the general release unnumbered pairs and you didn't have luck with your local raffles or lining up or whatever the case, you can always look on the Stay Fresh website. I'll leave the links down below. They do have a full-size run of these at the moment of this recording. So thanks again for watching the Sneakerphiles review of the Nike Air Jordan 1 NRG Homage to Home. And if you've liked this review, please smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe for future reviews of upcoming releases. Happy hunting, guys!